Finally, after almost a month of it being the talk of the town and the talk of the entire nation, with a lot of controversies coming with it, on the 9th day of March 2024, the bodies of Herbert Wigwe, his wife, and son were finally laid to rest in a private mausoleum which he built inside the Wigwe University. But there were a lot of notable things that made this burial extraordinary and made it trend. Neutral opinion. In this short video, I shall be mentioning about 14 of those notable things that made this particular burial trend. Number 1 is mode of passing. Herbert Wigwe's death was a big tragedy which almost wiped his entire family. Herbert Wigwe did not just pass, he went with a son and beautiful wife. This unfortunate incident and tragedy which befell the Wigwe's family is a thing that no Nigerian will wish even their greatest enemy, and this made a lot of people sympathetic about the entire situation. Number 2 is his ownership of the Wigwe University. Immediately the tragedy occurred in February, the first thing people started finding out if it is the same Herbert Wigwe who owns the popular Wigwe University with a vision of becoming an Harvard University in Africa. Herbert Wigwe had a great vision for this university, and from the advertisements of the university, millions of people within Nigeria and outside wanted to see how it will fare when it finally begins to operate. Unfortunately, the death of the visionaire struck them like a shocking news. Number 3, the personality of Herbert Wigwe. Harry rose from the bottom of being a common banker to the top of being the CEO of the Access Holding, the largest bank in Nigeria when it comes to customer base. Harry managed, together with his business partner, to acquire Access Bank and bring it from the bottom, merging it with other banks and making it one of the greatest in Africa and beyond. Number 4, on the 18th day of February, just about 1 week plus after his death, the pastor's wife in RCCG City of David in Victoria Island, Lagos, through a lavish birthday ceremony which had the high and mighty in the society coming to celebrate her in that ceremony, and this drew condemnation from netizens and a lot of Nigerians, owing to the fact that this was the same parish where Herbert Wigwe and his family worshipped, and he was of great support to them in every project they had done, especially the building of the City of David Tower, which happens to be one of the most beautiful and luxurious church buildings we have in Nigeria, in fact, the whole of Africa. Harry donated a lot of money to that project and also persuaded his wife to do so. How he made loans available for the project, sometimes at no interest rate at all. And this same parish is celebrating a birthday of the pastor's wife just 1 week plus after the death of their beloved member. As expected, this brought a great debate online, while some people were defending Pastor Mrs. Shiju Iluyomade for celebrating her birthday despite the death of Herbert Wigwe because she had already fixed it before the tragic event occurred. Others were of the opinion that she would have shifted it at least to honor the dead who happened to be a member while he was alive. This led to the rumor which started flowing online that Herbert Wigwe's family had banned RCCG City of David from taking part in his burial program. And when the program was finally released from the family, it seemed to be true, as City of David RCCG Parish, Victoria Island, Lagos, was nowhere to be found in the program. The number 5 notable event that made this burial trend so much was the reaction of the Isiokpo community after they found out about the death of their benefactor, their illustrious son, their philanthropist, who happened to always support them in all they did, who was the true son of the soil, who supported the land by doing all he can to ensure that he brings development and progress to the people of Isiokpo community, how he helped the less privileged, the widows, the orphans, how he supported the youth with millions of naira anytime they were doing their bicycle carnival in the Isiokpo community. And this and more made the people of Isiokpo community to mourn him for 8 good days, bringing almost all economic activities to a halt in the Isiokpo ancient community. Number 6. It is on very rare occasions, that is if it has ever happened in Nigeria, for you to see billionaires and highly placed people in the society weep for a man while paying tribute to him. This happened while a lot of people came up to pay their tribute to Herbert Wigwe. This includes Dangote, Sanusi Lamido, the Emir of Kano, and many others. Even those that were not following his burial process began to follow it because they thought of it. Who is this man, Herbert Wigwe? Number 7, Dangote named one of the biggest roads leading to his refinery after Herbert Wigwe to immortalize him so that the generations after will be able to see that road and remember someone called Herbert Wigwe and the impact he had on people while he was alive. Number 8. After Sanusi cried while paying tribute to Herbert Wigwe, some northern youths blasted him for doing that the king should not be seen doing that in public, and also how many times has he cried for those killed as a result of the insurgency, banditry, and more in the north. They were of the opinion that maybe he was crying for Herbert Wigwe because Herbert Wigwe is a billionaire. Number 9. The way Herbert Wigwe's body, that of his wife and son, was transported in a cargo plane from the United States down to Nigeria got a lot of people thinking about the vanity in this life, as they were packaged in something that looks as if it was confined in a carton. So they were brought into the country in sealed coffins that were strapped on mortuary trays and put into something that looks like a carton, strapped to the tray so that it will not move while flying into the nation. This moved a lot of people into tears for a man who moved out of the country all by himself, very happy and full of life, to be brought back, not as a living being, not in the first class session, but in coffins at the cargo section of the plane. Number 10. The drama between Fabura and Akpabio during the funeral service at the RCCG Lion of Judah Parish in Isiokpo Community, Rivers State, Nigeria, where Governor Fabura was seen talking about the struggles of life amounting to nothing and meaningless, And the Senate president seemed not to keep quiet, but when he came up to talk, responded to Fabura that if he felt the struggles were meaningless, then he should stop struggling and give up. A lot of people saw this as insensitive, using a man's funeral to play politics and make such remarks in the faces of people who are grieving because of the tragic loss of 3 solid members from their family. That was indeed insensitive. Number 11, the Peter Obi's controversy. Peter Obi attended the Wake in Isiokpo community, and after every dignitary in that place were recognized and introduced to the people, the MC seemed to have forgotten, or maybe an oversight. Therefore, he did not recognize the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 election. This caused him to be booed by the crowd, and he was made to introduce Peter Obi, and the applaud which came after was resonating. Number 12, the false alarm that Herbert Wigwe's father slumped and died. During the funeral ceremony of Herbert Wigwe, his wife and son. This news, however, was debunked. Number 13. Herbert Wigwe built his own private tomb, private mausoleum inside the Herbert Wigwe University before he died, which made some people come up with the opinion that maybe Herbert Wigwe knew that he was going to die soon. But contrary to this, most wealthy men prepare for their deaths while they are alive to cause any confusion and argument when they are gone. And that is also the reason why they write their wills when they still can as living beings. Number 14. Some Nigerians branded Herbert Wigwe as an occultic man, because apart from being a billionaire and building a private tomb for himself and family, his final burial rites were done out of camera in a private ceremony. Number 15, and the last. Not too long after the bodies of Herbert Wigwe, that of his wife and son, were finally laid to rest in the private mausoleum which he built inside the Wigwe University, some people began to spread the rumor that politicians saved their stolen monies with him, and maybe that was why God brought down that chopper on that day, because of the sufferings of Nigerians. Most of these allegations are without proof, and to even think that they are made against a man who is now gone to meet his maker makes it even more unspeakable. Do you agree with me that these are the 15 notable things that made Herbert Wigwe's burial to trend? And if you have something to say or other points to add, you can do so in the comments section. After a very busy week of funeral processions, from paying tribute to funeral service to final burial rites, Herbert Wigwe, his wife and son were finally laid to rest in the private mausoleum inside the Herbert Wigwe University. May their souls rest in peace.